everyone. Happy Twin Tuesday.
Happy Twin Tuesday.
Whoop, whoop. Happy New Year. Happy Twin Tuesday. I'm Dr. Johanna.
I'm Dr. Madeline.
And we are awesome twin chiropractors at Atlas Chiropractic Center
In sunny St. Petersburg, Florida. And we see your whole family. Our jam is pregnant postpartum mamas, but we take care of all ages.
Oh yeah. Yes we do. So it's a fun environment that we have, right?
And I think so.
Yeah. So it is the new year, and in the new year, what do a lot of people like to do?
I like to set some New Year's resolutions, do some things. A lot of them are, I think, anchored or revolve around your health, which we're always about supporting you in your health and in that journey and that process. But before we get too far into it, as you're jumping on, say, hey, drop some emojis or love down. If you're catching a replay, say replay down below so we make sure we come back and send you some love and answer any questions that you guys might have that you drop down there. So yeah, I think in the new year, a lot of people, I think, it's coming out of the holidays, and the holidays are tough. Like, they are stressful, I think, for everyone, even though we know it.
You overindulge.
You overindulge.
It's hard not to.
Yeah. Sugar, alcohol, caffeine, less sleep, more stress, crossing boundaries and not observing them.
And maybe not being as active as you usually are in your normal routine, because there are so many additional things that you're trying to accomplish at that time. And there's just only so much time in a day.
Yeah, there is that little time thing. So we want to come on and just pop on and talk about maybe what are some easy ways that you, and some safe ways, just like easy tips that you can do to help kind of reset your body. So I know for me, I am doing like a reset, and I started on the 4th of January because it's been a long time since I've taken a break from anything like caffeine or alcohol, and I just could tell in my body. I could tell I had a lot more brain fog. I was tired all the time, a lot more sluggish. I wasn't recovering from workouts as well as I wanted to. And I know those are like stress indicators that my body is bombarded with a lot. It's trying to handle a lot. So for me, I decided it was time to really hone in and step away from that and kind of reset. So we're gonna just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important just to note that like reasons that people would consider detoxing or cleaning up their diet for a period of time at least is because of things that Dr. Madeline said. You may be experiencing brain fog, extreme fatigue, like you never feel rested.
Digestive issues.
Digestive issues for sure. That could be in your belly. That could also be you're not having the proper amount of bowel movements, or they're difficult to actually have. That could be things like a slower recovery time from your workouts compared to what you're used to. And I mean, and difficulties losing weight is actually a huge one on why people do detox or clean up their diet and nutrition. But those are like key factors, I think, going into the new year that people do focus on, because doing simple things can help improve a lot of that stuff.
And I want to mention a lot too, since we see so many women, is I think women are starting, because we at least talk to you about it, they're noticing that their hormones aren't working correctly, and a lot of an easy way to usually tell there might be a imbalance in that is if you're having a lot of period issues, because period issues are normal, but they are not common. They are your body telling you some little SOS messages saying, hey, something's not right. So we have like a whole slew of reasons on why people want to do stuff like this. So we just want to give you easy things. And I would like to say though that definitely talk to your doctor. If we're your doctor and you want to talk to us about it, then that's cool. If you have another doctor, talk to them about it before you fully start on anything. Like I don't know your case or anything like that. These are very general overview recommendations. So
yeah, I think on an easy beginning process, like if you don't want to spend money on an actual like detox system or a cleansing system, we can easily pay attention to what we're eating and consuming and putting into our bodies. And something easy that a lot of people can start like today or next week or whenever you want to implement it is cutting sugars out, cutting caffeine, and cutting alcohol. So like all excess things, and eat from food that like is grown from the ground and raised. And that would be like clean meats, like organic, non-hormonal, non-processed meats. Usually you want to stick to your lighter color meats and or fish when you are trying to reset and cleanse, because it'll help get toxins out of the body. And then follow up with some good old fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, you definitely need to support those detox pathways. So like cruciferous vegetables and like dark leafy greens are really good for one part of that process. Making sure you're drinking enough water, but you're getting that fiber from those vegetables as well, because usually when people do detoxes, you can become constipated, and it is because you may be decreasing your calories. Your body's not used to not having that amount of food to process through. So it's starting to change and adapt a little bit, but Getting fiber from those vegetables, having lots of water is really important from that. There's a lot of herbal teas that are really good to just help keep hydration but flush kind of excess water as well. So if you're interested in that, you just have to send us a message and we can talk to you about it. But yeah, I agree, like really simple choices like that. I will tell you from personal experience, if you drink caffeine regularly and you're like, maybe I want to come off caffeine for a little bit, I promise you it is worth it. And you're gonna think it's not gonna feel good. Once you get through it, it does feel a lot better. You actually have more energy, and don't get me wrong, I love coffee. Like, it's like a warm hug in a mug. Like, I love the smell of it. But that being said, I suggest do not cut it cold turkey, especially if you drink it all the time.
Yeah.
Because your head will rage. It will feel probably really bad. Your brain fog will probably be terrible. I recommend, or what I did was I would make caffeinated coffee and decaf, and I would just keep adding more decaf and decreasing the caffeine each time until I fully went to decaf. And then I just switched it out at that point for herbal teas in the morning that do not have caffeine in them.
Yeah. Because caffeine, unfortunately, as much as we love it and we use it and some people feel like they need it, it is a big hormone disruptor, and also it's a very dirty product. Unless you are getting fair trade organic coffee, like it is one of the most pesticide type of thing that you can consume.
Yep.
Which increases weight gain, it makes your cells toxic, which is reasons that you would want to go through and take a break from it every now and again. And it helps clear up here mentally.
Yeah. So switching, like taking those kind of excesses out like we talked about, I would say added sugar. I think, especially if you're just like trying to lightly do this and kind of reset, natural sugar I think is okay for your body. You're supposed to have sugar from like fruits and stuff like that. And their fruits come with fiber, which helps it anyway.
They're perfectly packaged when you eat that kind of sugar.
But decreasing, or really honestly, if you're going to do this, getting off of alcohol and caffeine at some point and giving your body, I would say at least 30 days to do this, if not longer, because it's going to take some time for those cells to regenerate and those detox pathways to fully get going.
Let's be real, the younger you are, the less time you need to kickstart this process. Pretty much like when you get 30 or above, it takes a bit more time, and that's because we've been around for more years, toxifying our bodies, and they just respond a little bit slower just naturally. So you may want to stick to that at least 30 days.
They're a little less resilient because they have for like let's say you're in your 30s, we've had we're working on our third decade, but 2 solid decades of our body processing through everything we've put through it or on it or that's been in the environment. So those things do get sluggish. We're not as resilient as we were back then, but that doesn't mean that you can't do these things and still see changes. But it also allows you to come from a lot more intentional place and things that you choose to do in your life that really support you in the way that you want to live and show up. So what else? I think drink lots and lots of clean filtered water.
Yeah, that's huge.
No tap water, guys. Tap water has all kinds of garbage in it. Like, if you live near us, like, you can turn it on and smell the chlorine. Like,
yeah, we have in my house, we have a filtration system. So it gets filtered from the very beginning point that it enters the house. And then we have a couple other filters set up throughout that process. And that's so we do get a clean, quality hydration product, because your body is a lot of water. So you want to make sure you're replenishing it. That's how we detox. That's how we get nasty things out, is by consuming enough of those liquids and keeping that balance optimal.
I think a key thing, at least from what I've picked up on in the last little bit more than a week that I've been doing this, is if you are going to take this time to reset, really kind of, I don't think you, and I say this like, I don't think you necessarily need to like weigh or fully measure your food, but I would take this opportunity to maybe be familiar with what a serving size actually looks like and kind of reset to that, because I definitely was eating way more food than I thought I was, and not even in the right way. And I have a history of like being a bad relationship with like abusing food or like starving myself like way back in my history. So I was really, really nervous to do this and to start measuring again. I just try to like visualize it more. I use it loosely. I'm not like really hardcore about it, but I was like, oh, that's what a serving of fish is.
Yeah, we want to have a healthy relationship with food, but I think it is important to know that like a lot of times, because most of our dinner plates are pretty big, so we feel like we have to fill the whole plate up with food, which is not necessarily the case. You really need a smaller amount, and typically like a good like thing to go by, especially if you're not going to measure or weigh, is like basically the palm of your hand, like not the whole palm, just like this part is pretty much like the serving size of like protein that you should have. And so like my hand is a different size than my husband's hand, so obviously we should have different amounts because we're two different people. And so that's an easy just like little thought that you can do as you're working through this process.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to add? I don't want to throw too much at you guys. I mean, you can really just keep it simple. And I think the biggest thing is picking better quality foods, things that are not processed, they are not packaged. And I understand everybody's finances are on a different level. We found some really good ways to get organic food for a lot more affordable as well. But really, if you can pick organic produce, you want organic produce, grass-fed meats, wild-caught fish, those type of things. Other than that, accountability. This is hard to do.
Yeah, so if you do want to go through this process and you just need someone to like check in on you, you can let us know. We'll just give you a little nudge every now and again. And like Dr. Madeline said, there are different ways to cleanse and detox. The easiest way is just to clean up automatically what you're eating and cut processed stuff out. If you're like, I've done the whole like cleaning out my pantry thing and I want something a little bit upper level, there are tons of programs that you can use that help include supplementation and just different things in a design program. Some of them are good, some of them are not. So inquire to us which ones we do recommend, because there are better quality out there so you get the results that you're actually looking for. You're not putting more junk into your body, you're putting good stuff in there to help reset.
Yeah, we have some good people in the community we can point you in the direction of if you're looking for like legit accountability, like when it comes to that and you want like a lot more detailed recommendations and you have some like really, really big health issues you want to work on, then let us know. We can point you in their direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a new year and a lot of people want to detox and cleanse. It's a good thing to do that really we kind of recommend like quarterly, like clean out the system. Like this is your body, you only have one to live in. So you want to get those toxins out so you get the best out of your body each and every day. So usually this is the first time of the year that everyone does it.
Yeah. We will see you next week.